Ahoy! Happy Friday from me and Gort Ferguson. Um, I've been working on another AAVJ effect that I'm really excited to share with y'all. It's called Pixelate and it's Audio-Reactive. It's got 4 different looks and lots of customizability within that. So, me and Gort will walk you through it. Okay, cool. Sorry about my voice in advance. I'm just getting over being sick. But just kind of little note about this. When you come into the effect, you're gonna see the select chop with this reference here. All it is referencing this sound container from outside the project. All this is just a container with this global shortcut named sound. And when you go in it, it's an audio device and just a null. And all it is just acting as like your main input source for all of your audio, whether it be getting it from like a microphone or from an audio device or something. And you can use that shortcut that is here in this select chop to reference that in your project. So make sure you've got that global sound container so your select chop will actually be pulling from the correct audio source in your project. I just found this out like a month ago. I had my audio reactivity like set up all wrong. So hopefully that's helpful to somebody. So yeah, that's a little bit about that. So I guess first things first, you're gonna see all of your parameters for each look pulled out here in our parameters panel in AAVJ. And this master on off slider, it's just a slider to turn the effect on and off. I find it a little bit easier than using this slider right here. So basically I just use it as like, I can click right on the end of this effect and then I can use this slider and map it to my MIDI so I can have a smoother transition in and out of the effect. And this effects here, the effect style is gonna have look 1, look 2, look 3, and look 4, all as a menu drop down. And then down here, you'll find all of the nitty gritty parameters for each look. So each look is gonna be capitalized here with the name of the op in the network, exactly as it's named here, and its parameters named the same as you'll see in here. So for example, under look 1 right here, pixelate 1 is going to reference this pixelate. All the parameters are named the same thing. And just another little note too, if square pixels is toggled on, as you see like under pixelate 1 here or pixelate 2, the horizontal pixel size slider will be the only one that functions. The vertical one actually does not work unless you have that toggled off. So little note about that too before we get into everything. But yeah, so again, you got your master slider here, you've got all of your looks listed out here, and then all of your nitty gritty parameters for each look also on this panel. So you don't have to keep going in and out of the main network to play with all of that. So let's go ahead and take a look at look 1. Okay, so here is look 1 here. And this is the default look for it. Some of the different stuff that you can play with this one is your pixel size, so you can make them really small. And they function more, I don't know, they look like the noise that it's composited with in the network, or can make them really, really big. I've got my default at 160 because that's just where I like it to live. But yeah, you can turn off square pixels and you can get this neat look and play with the size of those. Make them really small. And then this is just your dry wet mix. So you can turn this all the way off and just get your noise overlay, or put it somewhere right in the middle. But that's that for look 1. Cool, so here's look 2. And same thing, it's basically running off of 2 different pixelates here. We've got a displace and an edge parameter that we can play with, so just go ahead and show you some different stuff that we can do here. Again, we can turn off square pixels, and you get a little bit more of like a, I guess, traditional pixelated overlapping look here. Again, you can play with the size of these pixels. Play with the dry wet mix. You can turn it all the way off, and then just your Pixelate 3 will be the only one working there. And this displace weight here, you can play around with some of this, and it'll just kind of, give you a different look within the look there. And Pixelate 3, and then our edge down here, change the color of it. Change it to this green and leave it here. Change the strength of it. That'll honestly just turn the effect like all the way down, so that's why I have the default set at 10. And same thing with this sample step. You can up it to give it a little bit more overlap on itself, or bring it back down to where it was. But yeah, that's that for look 2. Alright, so here's look 3, and here's all the parameters for look 3. So a couple things we can do here. Again, we can turn off our square pixels and play with our pixel size there. Bring them down a little bit. And this emboss is really cool. One of my favorite things to do here is animate the direction with ABS time.seconds. I don't know, times like 10. And I don't know, I think that looks really neat. I'm a fan of that. And even if like over here in your link, if you had some different like audio reactivity, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like if you have, I guess, like your lows, your mids, your highs, just kind of audio analysis tools over here in this link, you could definitely drop that on the direction too, and that could give you some really cool extra layer of audio reactivity there. And coming down here to our constant 1, ramp 1, this gives you a color option where you can have just your constant and pick the color of the constant here. I think the default is red. Different colors will look different on different projects. I think my favorite is this orange, or the green looks really nice too. Or you can pick the drop down of a rainbow ramp, and it's just a ramp with a radial setting, and it'll run through all of the colors. So that's pretty neat there for that. And then you can play with things like the sample step here and increase it, decrease it. Yeah, but that's some stuff for look 3. Cool, so let's take a look at look 4. So look 4 is going to be all the way down at the bottom here. And there is lots of fun stuff in look 4. Couple of the big ones are going to be turning off or sorry, turning on square pixels for this Pixelate 5. This is really cool. I don't know, gives you these fun little lines overlaid here. So I really like how that looks. And you can also turn off square pixels for Pixelate 6, and you'll get just your, I don't know, I guess your horizontal pixels here. Or if you do both, you'll get a little bit of both. So you'll get these kind of wiggly lines here. So I think that's really, really neat. And again, you can always play with your pixel size here, you know, increase, decrease. I think the default's 120. And same thing up here. Changing up the sizes here will give you some different options. Ooh, that's cool. But yeah, so that's going to be your Pixelate 5, Pixelate 6. So your Edge 3 and 4 here, if I reset these guys to the default, so Edge 3, Edge 4, you can play with the sample step size. I don't know, this almost looks like some plaid. And you can change that up. Same thing down here. Or you can just maybe do one or the other. Gives you some different stuff there. Even just playing with the strength size here too. Again, it'll give you one or the other. Kind of vertical versus horizontal pixelates here. And then again down here, you've got your constant 2, ramp 2. Our default color option is going to be a rainbow ramp, so it's going to run through all of the colors. Or kind of like how we saw in Look 3, you can also do a constant and reference one color. And, you know, different colors will look different for different projects. You can set it to white and just get the actual colors of the patch that the effect is overlaid on, or you can apply different colors to it here, or do a little bit of both with these lighter colors. But again, I think the default is red for this one. But I like the rainbow ramp. I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, so that's what Look 4 looks like. And again, just with all the different parameter options in here, there's a lot that you can definitely do within each look. So yeah, that's that. Cool. So you can find Pixelate on my Patreon, which will be linked in the description below. Yeah, I'm stoked to finally get this one out for y'all. If you have feedback or anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Yeah, this one took a little bit longer for me to get out, just between being sick and Thanksgiving and whatnot. But yeah, I'm really excited that it's finally out. So let me know what you think. I'd love to see what you do with it. One thing I do wish I was able to figure out for this one was how to collapse each section on the main parameters panel in AAVJ for each look, because I feel like it can be a little bit overwhelming seeing each parameter for each look, no matter what you have selected, just be up all the time. I feel like it can be a little bit clunky, especially in a live setting, just having to make sure you're reading each heading to make sure oh, I'm working out of the Look 3 section if I have Look 3 selected and whatnot. So yeah, if you have any feedback regarding that or anything, yeah, definitely let me know, because I would love to maybe do a V2 of this with some improvements and a little bit better functionality for everybody to have in a live setting, or just for whatever. But yeah, thanks again for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next FX Friday.